Hi, I'm Kim Stevens, Broker Associate, Remax Alliance Group, bringing you the Suncoast Life. Today we're going to tackle something you might think is impossible. We're going to show you how to find a property, get financing, inspections, insurance, and close on the property without ever setting foot in it, all in 45 days or less. You know, fall and winter are coming. Why rent when you can purchase a property? Just since April, I've closed on or under contract 4 sales with these same tools that we're about to share with you today. I've assembled my team of experts who can successfully guide you through this entire process. With us today is Tony Moore, branch manager, Gulfside Mortgage, Charles Hodges, Hodges and Associate, Inspections and Appraisals, Stacy Moore, Roberts Insurance Group, and Joe Shea, General Counsel, Alliance Group Title. So thank you all for joining us. Let's get this underway. So let's say we have John and Mary who live on the West Coast and they're getting ready to move to the Florida Suncoast. I begin with a thorough interview of them and determine what they're looking for, the areas of interest, budget, financing needs, and timeline when they're looking to move in. I start with a must-have list, which includes features and maybe schools, healthcare needs, amenities. So if financing is anticipated, that's when I bring in Tony Moore, Gulfside Mortgage. Tony, will you walk through your part of it and tell us why a local lender is absolutely critical to this process?
Absolutely, Kim. So the first question there is, why is a local lender critical to the process? And we see a lot of things happen in our area that we have to call on the local experts to figure out what we can do. A lot of times, for example, is with an FHA loan, we have to have a certain distance between the septic and the well to make sure it's passable. And to do that, we usually have to go with the county, and we have Hector down at the county that we can get a hold of, and we can call, and we can make sure we get that letter. That's just one of the small examples of why you want to use somebody who's local, who knows your area, knows the people in the area, knows how to get the documentation that you need. So we've been here locally for over 17 years now, and right here on Venice Avenue in the area. We've been voted best mortgage company for 16 years in a row. And the second part of your question was talking about doing stuff over the phone or over the internet. And that's something that we've been doing for a long time because we have a lot of people purchasing second homes here and coming from out of state to buy a house to either move here or purchase their second home, and all their documents are back at their house. So we work with a ton of people either over the internet or over the phone, or even over Zoom. We're doing a lot of meetings over Zoom now, where we can show people what the product looks like, show them what their loan looks like, and rates and fees and their payments going to come out to, all by starting by doing an online application, which is quick and easy. Usually takes Kim about 15 minutes to get done. Once that application is done, we call them up, we walk through the full application, and then we give them a complete needs list of documentations that we need to take them from pre-qualified to pre-approved. And the difference, just so you guys know, because a lot of people don't understand the difference, is pre-qualified means we looked over your document, or we looked over your application and pre-qualified you. But until we see all your documents and review your income, your assets, and your credit, you're not completely pre-approved. So doing that and getting those documentation up front is super critical in helping get that loan closed in 45 days or less.
Well, thanks, Tony. So once financing is nailed down, we can start looking at houses. I set up an MLS search, use a combination of filters so you can see the type of house that you're looking for. And the great thing about our MLS system is that it's very user-friendly. It updates in real time, showing you what's coming on the market for sale, what went under contract, price changes, sales, withdrawals, listings. You know, it's a great way to follow the market too. And each property profile gives you access to all the data on the listing, photos, sometimes there's 50 photos, and a virtual walkthrough tours. So let's say John and Mary find a home of interest. The next step is we do a Zoom or FaceTime tour of the property, show them the features, answer any of the questions. Questions I usually get are closets. Those are important to women. Are they walk-in? How big are they? Garages. Those are important to men. And maybe even the surrounding neighborhood. And these are easy enough to show you on Zoom or FaceTime. And we do this with each property until we find the one that they love. And then John and Mary are ready to make their offer. And to draw up the offer, we get on a conference call and we go over the paperwork page by page. And then I send them offer paperwork over the internet for electronic signatures, all handled by the email. Then we send it to the seller's agent. So sometimes the offer is quickly accepted. Sometimes there's some back and forth. And I'm in close contact with John and Mary, the seller's agent, until we're in agreement. And then we have an executed contract. So once the offer is accepted, we schedule the property inspection. Charles, bearing in mind that John and Mary are 3 time zones away, 2,000 miles maybe even, how do we keep them in the loop? Charles?
Well, I'll make sure and I won't call them at 7 a.m. in the morning if they're going to be 3 time zones away. But one thing that I always do with any new potential buyer, potential client, is I always touch base with them regarding the property they're looking to get into. And I always make sure that they're aware of everything and every service that we can provide. Hodges and Associates, we do everything from the general home inspections to the wind mitigation inspections, 4-point inspections, which they'll need for their insurance. We also offer septic well inspections, mold inspections if clients have specific needs for airborne samples. We also do radon for those that are coming from the areas that are concerned with radon, even though our area is very low. But we offer pretty much any service that you can need for a home inspection, and that goes with condos, townhomes, residential homes, estates, large or small. We pretty much conquer anything that we can get our hands on. Hodges and Associates, we do have a team of 2 inspectors on each site, and on the off case that we need to have a solo inspector on site, we do. And that kind of gives us a lot more flexibility with being able to fit inspections in during specific timelines that are often written into contracts. We also do new home construction inspections, and we also do warranty inspections for those new construction houses that are coming up on their 12-month warranty. But essentially, each contact we have, either from the buyer or from the agent, comes with the address and the buyer's contact information. I then reach out to them via email, or I can talk via text. Both my office line and my cell phone are text lines. But I outline what we're going to be doing for them, specific to that house that they've chosen. And they get a full scope of the inspection that breaks down everything that we're going to be doing via email. We can work around their schedule if they are out of the area and they do decide that they're going to try to get in for maybe the inspection. We do a lot of inspections where we're seeing the house for the first time with the buyers. And we walk them through the house, making sure that they're comfortable with what we're letting them know about. We speak with them in terms that they can understand. So when they're leaving the inspection for that day, seeing the house potentially for that first time, or even if it's something that we need to do with a conversation over the phone or a conversation via Messenger or some other kind of video app, we do that as well. And we walk them through so that way, at least when we are finished with our inspection, they have a good idea as far as what they're buying and the condition of the house that they're buying.
Well, thanks, Charles. And don't forget, I'm always there at the inspections on your behalf. So while the inspection activities are in progress, we've got 2 other team members working in the background. Attorney Joe Shea will give us the scoop on title work and the virtual closing. But first, John and Mary have questions about the insuring part of the house. So Stacy Moore is here with Roberts Insurance Group, and she can cover all the angles. So Stacy, what do you do with John and Mary? What do they need to know?
So usually I'll come in when there's been an offer made on the home, and hopefully those inspections have been done, the wind mitigation and the 4-point inspection, depending on the age of the home. I'll ask them questions about their use of the house. As you're aware, a lot of people are snowbirds, so they'll be seasonally occupied, which requires some special insurance or accommodations as far as management goes for while they're not there. I will get those wind mitigation and 4-point inspections and make sure that they look good so that a policy is going to be effective and not canceled or have them have any updates that they need to do. I try to handle that at the front end so everything's in line. I get those informations. I quote it with, all our providers here, considering all their special circumstances. Like I said, the occupancy, whether or not they need coverage for golf carts. A lot of people like to ride the golf carts around their communities, and there's coverage for that. If some people have animals, watercraft, I'll consider all those options and quote it out to all the insurance companies. Usually I deal with you, the realtor, as well, to answer any other questions that they might have. We can do all of this over the internet and through email. People don't need to actually come in here. I usually offer them several options and they can decide what they need. Flood coverage was also another consideration, which can be quite expensive if you're in a flood zone. People usually need to know that ahead of time because it makes some difference sometimes on whether or not they're going to want the home, as I'm sure you're aware. We would get an elevation certificate. A lot of times will help, which I don't believe that is done by Hodges. We have separate companies that can do that, which I can direct them to, and answer all the questions that they might have for their insurance needs.
Great.
That's about it for me.
Thanks, Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we've saved the best part for last, Joe. We've got John and Mary over 2,000 miles away, and it's the big day. So how are you going to get them to the closing table?
So sometimes this is the best part. It doesn't always go smoothly. So a lot of the heavy lifting is done before, obviously, you get to your contract. You find a local lender. I want to reemphasize that is very important because a lot of times at the closing, the thing that gets hairy is the lender going to be able to get the documents to us? And when they're out-of-state lenders, it's just more difficult. We have a closer right in the office with Kim, which like having a local mortgage lender, it's great to have that accountability and that convenience of somebody right there, that if a question comes up, we're right local and you can get your answer right away. We can't hide from you. We don't want to hide from you. But we can do a lot of things remotely. We obviously have to get in touch with the seller right away. We order title. Hopefully we don't get any title surprises. Once in a while, you'll find out that somebody on title is deceased and we have to work on fixing a problem. So we get that done right away. We figure out if you need a new survey or not. If the sellers have a survey and nothing has changed, we might be able to use that survey, save you a few $100s, and just get an affidavit from them that nothing has changed. You may not need a new survey, so we don't spend any of your money until we figure out if you really need to or not. But then by the time we get to closing, you don't obviously have to be here for closing. The sellers, a lot of times, if they're local, they'll come in and sign. There are a few documents that we still need wet signatures. I mean, you may have heard there is remote online notarization that exists that is allowed under the state of Florida. But right now, the state of the real estate industry, there's still a couple of documents that need wet notarized signatures. So the mortgage package will be sent to you at your convenience. A remote closer can come right to your house. And, we mark up everything. We're available to go through any questions you have, but remote closers are equipped to do that too. They're familiar with the Fannie Mae loan documents and they know what's in there. But we also, try to get the numbers as quick as we can to you so you know exactly what you need to send to closing. You can wire your funds if you have money in Merrill Lynch or somewhere like that. You want to get that moved a couple days ahead of time so it's somewhere where it's in a checking or savings account where you can wire. We don't need it even until the day of closing, but obviously we need it that day. So you want to have all your funds in the right place. Obviously you need those numbers to do that. And that's where the critical relationship between us as the closer and the mortgage company is so important, because we have to work out those final numbers in coordination with them. And then the signing is the easy part. And your realtor, Kim, will take care of you as far as the keys and, you know, I guess, Kim, I don't know if you want to talk about the walkthrough before closing, but that all gets done obviously a day before or day of closing. And hopefully we are the happy part of the equation, because you have a new house and we get to turn over the keys, and we're the final piece. And hopefully we do get the glory part. We're saying, oh, congratulations, now on your new Florida home.
Well, thanks, Joe. Of course, I'll be conducting the virtual walkthrough inspection, just like at the beginning, making sure the property is in good shape. So, does anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Tony, Charles, Stacy, Joe, before we close this Zoom meeting?
I'll just add real quick, Kim. You know, no matter who you guys choose or whatever anybody does, you want to make sure you have a team of experts. Purchasing a home is a very, very long and hard process, and using inexperienced people or people that you don't know really is going to take the joy out of buying a house. It's going to give you a bad taste for what happens in the future for the next time you buy a house. And finding the people that you know who've been in the industry for a while, that know what they're doing, that know the area, and just can have an overall great experience is probably one of the biggest things that you want to do. Purchasing a home is one of the biggest things you'll ever do in your lifetime, and you want to make sure you have the right people behind you. And that's why we assembled this team, because you got a lot of great people here, and we'd be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, I would like to just add, I agree 100% with Tony. It is important that people are here and have been here for a while. Roberts Insurance Group has been here for 35 years. Florida is a very specific environment when it comes to insurance. It's like no other state. So having somebody that knows what may come to pass is important. And so we're here to answer all those questions ahead of time. So it does make the experience more pleasurable. No surprises.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll add some too. If you're having your buyers that are coming from over 2,000 miles away, depending on if they're going to be moving here, relocating permanently, or if this is going to be a seasonal type home, Hodges and Associates also offers the Home Watch program that we do for several clients that are here just seasonally. Home Watch program can be catered. It can be very a la carte as far as what particular people want. But it's essentially going into their house once or twice a month and checking things out. We're running water to make sure that everything's not drying out. We're checking the air conditioning, humidity levels, making sure everything's working. We've also got a vast network of contractors that we can use pretty close to a moment's notice if there are emergencies. We also offer a storm prep for those that can't do it themselves, and they do have the means of preparing their houses for storms. We offer that as an annual or bi-monthly or monthly type service. I've got concierge who can do soft cleans and change their linens before they get home, or even do a soft shop for making sure that they have their favorite coffee waiting for them when they get home. So, you know, we pretty much try to get involved in anything we can on the inspection and home watch side of things, so we can definitely help any of your clients out.
Great.
Good to know.
Well, great. And, you know, I've been in the business, it's about 23 years now. So I do have some experience, just like my team. So there you have it. Thanks to all of you on the call. And as you see it, it takes a solid team to put this all together. You know, if you found this video helpful, give us a like, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And if you still have questions, drop me a line at kim@thesuncoastlife.com with your questions or your comments, and I'll make sure I get them answered. So again, thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Kim Stevens, broker associate, RE/MAX Alliance Group, bringing you the Suncoast Life.